Have you been trying to figure out what to make in your crock pot? Then stay tuned. Hey my friends, welcome back to my channel. Today is a very special video. It's October, which you know means it's Crocktober. And today I am co-hosting a collaboration with my friend here on YouTube, and her name is Molly. Her channel name is Molly Purcell, and I will have her channel linked in the description box. And we have compiled a playlist of a lot of our YouTube friends who have put together a ton of crockpot ideas just for your meal planning. So make sure that you check out the playlist as well as Molly's channel, and I'll tell you a little bit more about Molly in just a few minutes, but let's go ahead and see what I've cooked in my crockpot. Tonight's crockpot meal is going to be a jalapeno popper chicken chili, and I'm kind of using two recipes for this. I found a recipe in a magazine, and I think it's a Taste of Home magazine. It's the, I don't know what edition it is. What does that say? Yeah, August, September. And I also found a recipe online, so I'm kind of combining the two. But what I'm using is some taco seasoning, some ranch seasoning, some seasoning blend, a jalapeno pepper, a block of cream cheese, some green chilies, some rotel, some white beans, and some chicken. So now I'm just gonna get this put in the crock pot. This is an easy dump and go crock pot meal. So yeah, let's go ahead and get it going. All right, for this, I have one chicken breast left and then the little piece. So that is what I'm gonna use. Actually, just two little pieces. Use that. Then I'm going to add about what I think would be the equivalent of one onion. That looks good. I'm gonna add, this is a large can of green chilies, so I'm only gonna add about half, and I'll use the other half in another recipe. Now, one of the recipes calls for no beans, and one of the recipes, the recipe in the magazine, calls for black beans and corn, but I don't have either. And my family really, they're not big fans of corn, which they'll eat them in taco soup. But anyway, we all like northern beans, so I'm just gonna put 1 can of the northern beans, 1 can of the rotel, and I forgot to mention that you do need garlic, so I'm gonna put the minced garlic in there, quite a bit, because we do like garlic. And then I have my jalapenos diced up real small. I'm gonna go ahead and add taco seasoning and some ranch seasoning. Then it also calls for chicken broth, which you know I don't like chicken broth. So I'm adding water, and I'm gonna use the Better Than Bouillon, because for some reason the Better Than Bouillon just doesn't have that, I don't know, super chickeny, I don't know. So this I don't mind, and I can add as much or as little as I want. So probably adding less than what would be in, you know, chicken broth, but it's fine. All right. So I am going to kind of mix this up just a little bit. And the last thing I'm gonna do is put my block of cream cheese, nestle it down in there, and it is about 1 o'clock, so I need for this to hurry. So I'm gonna turn it on high, and I'm gonna let it cook on high for about 4.5 hours. And at probably 3.5 hours, I'm gonna come back and shred the chicken and kind of stir in that cream cheese. But I'm gonna go ahead and let this cook. Okay, it's been about 4.5 hours. So now I'm just going to stir the cream cheese in. I need to take the chicken out, and I'm gonna shred the chicken, but I need to get the cream cheese kind of stirred up and broken up a bit. I find it really doesn't break up as well as what I feel like it should, but anyway, I'm gonna get that kind of mixed in so that while I'm shredding the chicken, it can at least kind of melt some more. But I'm gonna shred up the chicken really good. We don't like a ton of chicken in our soups, but just enough to, you know, get that protein in. And I didn't press record when I was filming me kind of stirring the soup, but this was really good. And I think next time I will add some corn and black beans and maybe even a little more jalapeno, but this was really good. I did want to take just a minute to tell you about my co-host Molly. Her channel is Molly Purcell Meal Prep. And if you are keto and you do meal prep, then you really need to check out her channel. She is so inspiring and she gives you such great recipes. I love her channel and I know that you will too. So make sure that you go check her out and tell her that I sent you. It is a rainy day. First rain we've had in a very long time down in South Louisiana, and it's not even getting out of the 60s today, so it is definitely a crockpot meal kind of day. So what I'm gonna make is sort of a take on hamburger or cheeseburger soup mixed with kind of like a hamburger or cheeseburger helper. So I'm gonna have a recipe linked below, and I am following it loosely, so I'm kind of making it my own. But anyway, what you're gonna need for this is ground beef, a carrot, some onions, seasoned salt, garlic, pepper. I am using a beef bouillon, better than bouillon. You will need rotel, 16 ounces of Velveeta, which this is 32 ounces, so I'm just gonna use half. Heavy whipping cream, some spaghetti sauce, garlic, and some elbow macaroni. Did I mention a carrot? And I'm going to make it in my Instant Pot Dutch oven slow cooker, which I always love using because I got this for Christmas last year, and it's sort of like an Instant Pot, which I don't really care for the quick cook Instant Pot, but I love my slow cooker. So this is kind of the best of both worlds, but you can saute your meat in here. So I'm gonna brown my ground beef in this. Then I just press a few buttons and it turns into a slow cooker. And I will have like I said, I'll have the recipe linked below, but I will also have a link to this. So if you wanna get you one, you can have easy access to a link. But anyway, now I'm just gonna go ahead and get started browning my ground beef. All right, I'm gonna put a little bit of oil in the bottom, not much. I'm gonna turn on sear, and then I'm gonna put my ground beef, and I've only used this a couple of times, so it's still kind of new to me as far as how to use it. But you're never gonna fully learn how to use it unless you use it, right? And also, answer me a question. Anytime I've seen a recipe for like a cheeseburger soup or a hamburger soup, it always calls for carrots. Does anybody put carrots on their hamburger or cheeseburger? I would love it if someone would answer that question. Why did cheeseburger or hamburger soup recipes always call for carrots? Maybe you can explain it to me, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get this browned. Okay, now the ground beef is all broken up and it is almost browned. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some garlic, and I'm using minced garlic, and I'm also using garlic powder just because I like it to have tons of flavor. So that's why I'm using both. And I'm gonna add probably about half of this small little bag of onions, what would equal probably about 1 onion. And let this finish sauteing. Let those flavors mix in with that ground beef. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and add the rotel. I'm gonna add the seasoned salt. And some pepper. Pepper to taste. Seasoned salt, I think it's at a ½ teaspoon. And pepper, I say pepper it to your little heart's content. And then I am adding garlic. Get that stirred around. All right, now I am ready to turn it on. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. All right, I'm turning it on slow cooker. And as far as time, let's see, time. I'm only gonna do about 5 hours. Okay. Now I'm gonna add my spaghetti sauce. I'm not gonna add too much. I don't want it to be spaghetti-y. Is that a word? But I do want it to have that like tomato sauce base. Then I'm gonna add about a cup of heavy whipping cream. All right, then I'm gonna start with about 3 cups. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and put 4 cups in there because I will be adding the pasta later. I'm not gonna add the Velveeta now or the elbow macaroni. I am gonna go ahead and add those carrots. And I'm going to add my Better Than Bouillon beef. The recipe that I'm linking calls for chicken, but y'all know me. I don't know why you put chicken broth in a beef recipe. I guess to add to the depth of flavor, but I just say magnify the flavor if it's a good flavor, right? Okay, so get this all stirred up. And I'm gonna let that cook for the next 5 hours. Get it covered up, and there you go. All right, so this has been cooking all day. It has about 45 minutes to an hour left to cook. Now, I will say one thing about this crock pot is there's no, there's no high or low. So you pretty much have to use it to cook something all day or something that you would only need to like heat it up or whatever. So that is one downside to this crock pot, but if you know what you're cooking and you're gonna be cooking all day, then it shouldn't be a problem. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and add 2 cups of elbow macaroni to the soup. And that should absorb some of this liquid because it is pretty soupy. But once that pasta cooks, a lot of that liquid will be cooked out. So anyway, I'm gonna cover it back up and let it finish cooking. All right, it's been cooking for about 45 minutes. Oh wow, that elbow macaroni really soaked it up. All right, let me stir it. I might want to add a little more milk, the heavy whipping cream. But I'm gonna go ahead and add my cheese. You add 16 ounces of the cheese. Then stir it up. And I think I am gonna add a little more heavy, I may add half and half. Anyway, I'm gonna get this stirred up, add that milk, and cover it until the cheese is melted. I ended up adding some half and half as well as a little bit more of the spaghetti sauce, got it stirred up real good, and covered it back up to let the cheese melt. And this is what it looked like. It smelled so good and it was so creamy. And if you did want it to be a little soupier, you could always add some more water, but I put a little bit of sour cream on it, topped it with some parsley, served it with half of a crescent, and this was really, really good. This is definitely a must try. All right, those are the two recipes that I cooked in my crock pot this past week. And let me know if you have tried either one. And if you've made it to this point, leave me a little fall emoji in the comments below. And also let me know in the comments, do you prefer chicken or beef in your crock pot? I probably would say chicken I do better in the crock pot than when I try to cook it on the stove. But anyway, thank you so much for coming by, and thank you so much to Molly for co-hosting this collaboration with me, and to all my friends who have put videos in with our collaboration. Don't forget to check out all of their videos because you're gonna get so many crockpot ideas, and you are going to love every one of their channels. Make sure to tell them that I sent you. But if you're new here to my channel, or if you're coming over from one of their channels, I would love it if you would consider being part of my YouTube family. If you love all things homemaking, whether it's cooking, shopping hauls, home decor, all those things that involve homemaking, then go ahead and click the subscribe button. Click the bell button so you don't miss any of my videos. And if you're looking for more crockpot ideas, then check out the box you see on the screen right now, and I'll see you next time. Bye.